What is the meaning of a dream of a brown horse?
And let me tell you, Harriet Tubman did not have soft dreams. No, her dreams, they were brutal. They were like these locomotive forces that she obeyed, the way most people obey hunger. It wasn't a choice. Now, she called them visions from God. A psychologist like Jung, he would have called them communications from the self. But look, whatever label you want to put on it, they came from the deepest part of her psyche. The part that doesn't lie, doesn't flatter, and as sure as hell doesn't wait. I mean, in these visions, she flew over fields and rivers. She literally saw landscapes before she ever traveled them. She felt direction in her chest like a compass, and she followed, no questions asked, through the swamp, through the dead of winter, through forests where, let's be real, a single snapped twig was a death sentence. And get this, she freed herself first. And then she went back. Not once, not twice, but 19 times. She brought over 300 people to freedom, and she was never, ever caught. She moved the way a horse moves, not thinking, but knowing. It was pure instinct, married to pure will. And that right there, that's the raw power at the very core of this whole symbol.
So let's break this down. What does this raw power actually symbolize? More importantly, what does it mean when this powerful archetype shows up in your dreams?
Okay, so the horse, it's one of the oldest archetypes there is. It's your instinctual self. We're talking about the part of you that existed long before language, way before you learned any manners, and definitely before you learned how to shrink yourself just to survive a room full of people who frankly needed you to be small.
And then you have the color brown. What is that? Well, it's the earth. It's the soil. It's the root systems. It is what is real, what endures, what's foundational. It's the very thing that sustains, well, everything.
So here's the absolute crucial point. When your unconscious sends you a dream of a brown horse, this isn't some fluffy fantasy. No, it's sending you a direct, urgent message about your foundation. It's asking you, is it solid? Is it crumbling? Or is it buried under layers of concrete that you've been poring over it for years?
And that's exactly why this dream isn't some abstract symbol you can just file away for later. It's a message for you, and it's for right now.
For most women, this dream shows up right at a crossroads. It comes when you're staring down a life-altering decision, and you're busy pretending it's just another Tuesday. When you're trying to convince yourself that this huge choice, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it comes when you've ignored your instincts for so long that your own psyche has no choice but to send a 1,200-pound animal to basically scream in your face, look, feel this. This is what real power feels like. Do you even remember?
So you have to ask yourself, and I mean honestly, in this dream, are you Harriet? Are you the one moving with instinct and power? Or are you still in the chains? And listen, this question isn't just some academic exercise. It is the difference between a life you truly live and a life you just endure.
All of this leads to one single, undeniable conclusion. Your life requires action, and it requires it now. Why? Because the horse, it does not negotiate.
Look, this dream isn't some passive symbol for you to just admire from a distance. It is an urgent, wordless message coming from the deepest, most ancient part of your intelligence. It's a demand for grounded, real, embodied action. And if you're wondering how, the blueprint is right there in Harriet's story. She did not wait for permission. She definitely did not wait for the conditions to be perfect. She moved when her instinct told her to move. Period. End of story. And so, this all brings us to the final question. Think of it as a direct challenge coming straight from your own unconscious. Because the brown horse, it doesn't stop to explain itself. It doesn't ask for anyone's opinion. It sure as heck doesn't poll the audience. It just runs.
Will you?
Part 2. So, you've had the dream, the brown horse. Now let's get into what it's really demanding from you.
Okay, let's be clear. This is not your average gentle dream interpretation. No, this is a direct call to action. It's written from the gut, and it's for women who are absolutely done sleepwalking through their own lives. So that brown horse in your dream? It's not just some random horse. Think of it as a mirror. It is the raw, unfiltered language of your most primal, instinctual self, and it is desperately trying to get a message through to you. And you have to remember, context is everything. The symbol doesn't just show up in a vacuum. The message changes completely based on what that horse is doing. right? Is it running free? Is it trapped in a cage? Whatever it's doing, that's the unvarnished truth about your life right now. All right, let's start with the 5 alarm fires. And I mean that literally. These are not subtle little hints. These are your psyche's emergency signals. And believe me, ignoring them comes with serious consequences. So if you see a caged horse, that means you've imprisoned your own wildness. An injured horse, your foundational energy, your very life force is damaged. A horse running away from you, your instincts are literally fleeing from you. And maybe the scariest, a horse charging at you, well, that's your own suppressed power. And now it's turned against you. Every single one of these is a different kind of emergency alert. You cannot hit snooze on this. So what do? What's the immediate non-negotiable work here? First, you stop overriding your gut just to make other people comfortable. Second, you name the belief system that built this cage. Is it perfectionism? Is it shame? Call it out. Third, you address that physical health issue you've been avoiding. You know the one. And fourth, you stand your ground in the situation you've been running from. This is the work. It has to happen right now.
Okay, but not all these warnings are a full-blown crisis in motion. So what happens if the horse isn't running? What if it's not injured? What if it's just waiting?
This brings us to something different. The patient power. See, this is an invitation. It means your instinctual self isn't gone. It hasn't abandoned you. No, it's just waiting. Waiting for you to prove you're finally ready to act. So if you're the one dreaming of a horse just standing still, watching you, you need to know this. Your instinctual self is patient, sure, but it is watching. It is gauging you. It's waiting to see if you are finally ready to stop performing for everyone else and actually start living for you. And here's the key. It will not come to you. This is a challenge. You have to make the first move. So how do you answer that challenge? You take that first step toward the horse. And what is that step? You do one terrifying, honest thing this week. That's it. One single, authentic action is the only way you can show that horse you are serious. Okay, we've covered the warnings, the 5 alarm fires. Now, let's shift gears and talk about power. This is where you start claiming your instincts. This is about remembering who you actually are underneath it all. So what does this look like in a dream? Well, if you're riding freely, it means you're aligned with your instinctual life. You're in the flow. See a wild, untamed horse? That means you're remembering your true, unconditioned self. You know, the one from before the world told you to be smaller. A horse with a foal. That's new instinctual life being born inside you. And if you're feeding a horse, that's you consciously nurturing your own inner nature. These are all signs you are on the right path. So what's the work here in this phase? Number 1, you aggressively restructure your life around what is actually working. Number 2, you protect that new, tender beginning that's starting to emerge in your life, fiercely. And number 3, you establish a daily, non-negotiable, body-based practice. Look, this isn't about fixing some problem anymore. This is about scaling your power. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most powerful variation of this dream. This is when the call goes beyond just you. This is when the herd is calling. It's a summons to something so much larger than your own life. When you dream of not one, but multiple brown horses, a herd, that signifies an enormous, collective, instinctual force. It means your work is shifting. It's moving from the personal out into the public. You are being called to a community role, maybe to leadership, to create a body of work that's going to outlast you. And make absolutely no mistake about this. The herd does not run without purpose. You are being summoned. This is not a gentle suggestion. It is a summons, and it has a deadline. So the final question, the one this whole thing leaves you with, is this. What is the contribution you keep talking yourself out of, that thing you know you need to do? That is the herd calling your name, and it will not wait forever.
Part 3. Look, this isn't about just understanding your dream. This is about what you are going to do tomorrow morning. No more excuses.
Because let's be honest, interpretation without action, that's just entertainment. And your life does not have time for entertainment right now. So I'm going to give you 7 practical applications. Think of them as direct translations of the horse's message for 7 different kinds of women. Listen for the one that hits you in the gut, that's the one for you.
All right, first up, your body knows. We're starting from the ground up, literally, with the physical.
This is for you if your body has become a stranger. If you've been living from the neck up, completely disconnected. You know who you are. The brown horse is an earth symbol. Its appearance is basically a scream from your psyche telling you this disconnection is critical. It's not sustainable. In fact, it's slowly killing you.
So here's the protocol. Tomorrow, you are going to walk barefoot on actual ground, I'm talking grass, dirt, sand, for 10 minutes. And you're going to do it in complete silence. No podcast, no phone, nothing. This isn't some cute wellness trend. This is an emergency reconnection with your instinctual self. You do this every single day for 1 week. And you pay attention to what your body tells you when you finally shut up and listen.
And what about the woman who's stuck, circling the same decision for months, maybe even years? Listen up. A horse doesn't sit around and deliberate. It knows. You've been letting your intellect run circles around your gut, and now your gut has sent you this horse in your dreams as a final, desperate appeal.
Your body already has the answer, so here's the test. Write down the decision, then write option A. Now place a hand on your sternum, right over your heart. Don't think, feel. What is the response in your chest, in your stomach? Okay, now do the exact same thing for option B. That physical feeling, that is the brown horse talking. Trust it now, or you can waste another year circling. The choice is yours.
Okay, second section. Reclaim your life. We're moving from the body to your very being. Are you drowning? I mean, really, are you drowning in other people's needs? If you see a caged horse in your dream, that is a direct indictment of a life that's been built around everyone else's requirements but your own. And let me tell you, this pattern has a very predictable endpoint: illness, collapse, and a resentment so deep it'll poison the very relationships you sacrificed yourself for.
The application here is urgent. You need to carve out 1 hour, just 1 hour per week, that is entirely, completely, non-negotiably yours. This isn't for productivity, it's not for self-improvement. It is for something, anything that feels alive to you. You guard this hour like it is your heartbeat, because frankly, it is.
Okay, pay close attention to this nuance. It's the brown horse in your dream is running away from you. If you wake up with that ache, that feeling of something vital slipping through your fingers, that something is your authentic self. And the place where you're losing it, it's a relationship. Now this requires courage, not cruelty. You have to have one conversation. A conversation where you say something true that you've been holding back. The goal here is not to wound your partner. The goal is to exist. You have to speak so that your authentic self can finally be present in the room again. That horse will not return until you do.
Section 3. Feed your unconscious. You've been neglecting your deep, psychic life for way too long, and believe me, it is starving.
So, if you're a creative who has stopped creating and you dream of a brown horse foal, that dream is for you. It means that new instinctual life is trying to emerge, a life that you have basically abandoned. That poor foal is starving. It needs to be fed.
So here's how you do it. Every single morning, before you touch your phone, you will spend 5 minutes making something, anything, a sentence, a sketch, a chord on a guitar. It does not need to be good. In fact, it can be ugly. It just needs to be real. Your creative instinct is a living thing, and you've been starving it, so feed it. 5 minutes, every morning, starting this week, not someday. Some days where dreams go to die.
And for the woman who's already thinking, I don't have time for this, for journaling, for reflection, for any of this inner work, I'm here to tell you, you are wrong. The brown horse dream is the proof. Your own psyche is working overtime, building these elaborate movie-like narratives in your sleep, just to get 5 minutes of your attention when you're awake.
So here it is, the most efficient inner work on the planet. Keep a notebook by your bed. The absolute moment you wake up, before you do anything else, you write 5 sentences about what you dreamed. Maximum, no more. That's it. Your unconscious has been doing all the heavy lifting. All you have to do is read the results.
And finally, the fourth and most urgent call. You have to answer the herd.
If you dream of an entire herd of brown horses, this is for you. You are being summoned, pulled towards something much larger than your comfort zone. It's a call to leadership, whatever that looks like for you, and you keep hiding from it. Let me be clear, the herd is not a gentle encouragement. It's a deadline.
So here is your commitment. You need to identify the one step you have been actively refusing to take. You know what it is? It's the email you haven't sent, the application you haven't submitted. You will take that one step before this week is over. Not because the conditions are perfect, they're never going to be perfect. You do it because the alternative is lying on your deathbed knowing you heard the thunder of the herd and you covered your ears.
This is the legacy that you are a part of. Harriet Tubman heard the call and she moved. Through darkness, through the dead of winter, through every single reasonable argument for just staying still.
That brown horse in your dream, that's her gift to you. It is the living proof that the instinctual self, your instinctual self, knows the way forward.
See, it's not a symbol just to be analyzed and picked apart. It's a vehicle. It's a way out. So the only question that remains is whether or not you're going to get on its back.